If you're looking for a job right now, you know that it's a rough time of year. What it means, though, for you right now is that this is a really wonderful time to be reaching out to people and having some conversations. Human connections are really powerful when things get super slow in the job market. But as you begin doing this, you might be a little concerned about some of the awkward silences that can happen when you're reconnecting with folks or connecting with brand new folks. So today I'm going to give you a few pointers on navigating what can feel really uncertain and a little bit embarrassing in these conversations. So the first thing I'll tell you is try not to worry too much about it. Conversation ebbs and flows. It's just a really normal part of the process. If you're meeting with someone in person, a natural pause in the conversation is a great time for you just to take a quick sip of your coffee, something like that. Just, a nice little natural pause. If you find yourself really struggling, if you feel really awkward, you think, oh my gosh, what am I going to ask next? Then, first of all, try not to freak yourself out too much. But second of all, what you can do to prepare for this is write down a list of some of the things that you would like to be sure to have a conversation about. If it's an old connection, as I said, think about perhaps things that you worked on together. Reflect on when you worked at a mutual workplace, a project you did together, anything like that. And if it's someone that you know has had some kind of life event happen, then you can ask about that. And it'll be something like, hey, I understand your daughter's off in college now. How's that been? Any idea what she's studying? That kind of thing, right? With a new connection, your best bet is going to be to have a list of the talking points you really want to cover with that person. Don't be super exhaustive. You're not going to get through 40 questions in a half-hour conversation, but you can write down, let's say, the 3 to 5 key talking points, the things you really want to know from this person, the pieces you would really like to learn. Jot those down and then add a few extras that are sort of front of mind for you, but not pressing in case you have just a little bit of a flag in the conversation. It gives you something to fall back on, and a little bit of a way to keep the conversation moving a little bit. But also bear in mind that if you feel like there's an awkward pause in the conversation, your partner likely does as well. And that person is also going to be looking for ways to fill those silences. So try not to put too much pressure on yourself. Instead, regardless of who you are connecting with, really think about what the things are that you would most like to learn from this conversation and the very specific but small pieces of support that you're asking this person for. So you're not going to ask this person to help you find a job unless it's somebody like a sibling, an aunt or an uncle, somebody like that. Otherwise, you are just looking to reconnect, to reestablish a relationship with someone, or to meet a new person and begin to have a relationship with this person. So your focus really is on those what you want to learn points. Either way, it is most helpful to your conversation partner if you have a really good idea of what it is you would like to do next. It's not super helpful if you have a conversation with someone that's just, I need a job. If you are in a situation like that, if you're willing to take almost anything just because, let's say, your unemployment ran out a month ago, you're really strapped for money, you need help generating ideas of things you could do short term, that's fine, but say it a little bit more clearly like that. Yeah, it's been really rough. I've been looking for a long time. I would love any ideas you have about what I might do for a little bit of a stopgap job. Something like that. It just gives them a sense of the direction to begin sending you in. But if you're looking for something that's a little bit more aligned with some career goals, it's much more helpful if you tell them very specifically what it is you want. Otherwise, people are going to be possibly operating on old information they have from you, or they don't know you at all. And they're going to be kind of connecting some dots in their heads, and those may be incorrect or misaligned. So get as specific as you can. It's a lot more helpful if you say something like, I've been in project management for a number of years now. It's been great. But what I've found recently is that I'm really the most interested in the change management aspects of this. So I think my next move is going to be into more of a change management role. Do you know anyone who does that? Do you have any suggestions for people I might contact? That sort of thing, right? And if it's someone who's already in the role that you think you want, you can just skip the I've been doing this and now I'm looking at that kind of piece of the conversation. You can just say, basically, I'm looking to make a change into whatever it is you're doing. And I would love to learn more about it. If you aren't sure, if you are at a place where you're really kind of reflecting and looking to make some possible changes in your life, then instead you can just say something like, I'm at a career change point right now, and I'm exploring a few things. I would love to learn more about what it is that you do. And then the other questions you can have kind of in reserve for this conversation is what kind of training this person has, what they enjoy about their work, what is challenging about their work, what a typical workday looks like, those kinds of things, as well as some add-on questions like how is AI impacting this work? What changes do they see coming? Are the tariffs impacting what they do? All of those kinds of questions. Those are really good to ask and will help you feel a little bit more conversational in the flow of things. So I hope this helps to kind of calm your nerves down a little bit. This process really should be enjoyable, right? You're looking just to make human connections. And so don't feel like you have to be on all the time with this. You're just looking to meet a new person, reconnect with an old person, get some tips and advice, that sort of thing. And do feel free to ask for advice from people. But also at the end of each of these conversations, the main thing you're going to want to ask is who else this person recommends you speak with. And if you can use your current conversation partner's name when you reach out to that new person. All right. I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll talk to you again soon.